Can you see what's going on here? This is what happens now when you buy cheap t-shirts. They lose their shape within 3 washes. Anyway, I digress. I've been unsure what to do, what to make a video about for the 3rd video. It's kind of an important one for me. And I think I wanted to just talk about something that's really relevant in my life at the moment and why I am at the point I'm at now. And I think this is going to give anyone watching some context. So I'm 54, and for the first 10 years of my life I lived in Wales, and I don't have too many memories of my childhood there. I certainly don't recall anything happy. And then at 10 we moved to the south coast of England, and I discovered horses. I had this sense for the first 10 years, the memories I do have are of loneliness and isolation as a child. Okay, so I'm not saying anything bad happened to me. What I'm saying is that I want to focus on is that I was very aware I was not likable. And I, even to the painful realization that my sister would get invited out to the neighbour's house, but I wasn't. And that's one strong memory. I remember, just playing out on the road by myself because we lived in a cul-de-sac and thinking, why have they asked her and not me? And so those are the sort of memories I'm talking about. And I'm not going to linger on this, it's contextual. So yeah, when I came to the south coast of England, there were some ponies in the field behind where we were living, and a very clear interest developed in horses and horse riding. And it was like my love for horses gave me wings. And I was into what some people would call an obsession. But it did. Horses then dominated my life for 30 years. Because I went on to study them, I went on to work with them. I travelled to various jobs in this country and abroad working with them. But the irony is the level of pain that brought me was phenomenal. And so the one thing that brought me so much happiness also brought me a shed load of pain. And what I really want to talk about that's so relevant to me now is that it got me hooked on adrenaline, because it was probably conflicting feelings, because when you're with horses, in their presence, it's very calming. But in order to get to the horses, I'm not talking about the ones in the field behind my house, which was a fairly short-lived thing because she moved away and took her horses and nothing replaced them. But to get to my mum paid for me to have riding lessons down the road, and then I asked if I could help out evenings and weekends at the local stables, and I needed to cycle there, which is a ton of endorphins. And it probably started the pattern of me chasing things, chasing good feelings. And I didn't do it in the conventional way. I did it in the, am I properly off kilter? I don't know. I don't think it really matters. So I wasn't chasing highs through drugs or drink, because I very much stayed away from those things because they scared me. I knew the power of those things. But I was getting my endorphins and my dopamine and my adrenaline, which is an intoxicating package for someone who would, up to the age of 10, really only experienced emptiness and loneliness, the main sort of emotions that I remember, suddenly I had purpose and meaning. And horses don't judge you. They don't really, not in a position to do so most of the time because we control them, but they're not mean to you. And that was something that I very much valued. And it set off the most, I don't want to just talk about this in negative terms, it set off the most amazing journey of reciprocity, where the kindness and caring that I gave to horses was reflected back at me. And I still haven't been able to find that in a human relationship. But it's an easy one to develop with horses, and it's a beautiful thing. And I developed it with cats as well. Not so good with dogs, because dogs do make demands on you that the other two animals don't. And so I think that's really the takeaway from this video, and as far as I want to go with it, it's just to say that is, in very basic terms, my life path. Up to the age of 10, feeling empty and lonely. At 10, discovering horses. Horses giving me purpose, meaning, stability, because they're always there. They don't give you rejection. That was an easing of a painful situation. But also having that intoxicating mix of drugs for the first time, and it sent me off on a pathway of looking for those all the time. Now, I suppose the end point of this video, and what's so relevant to now, is that I have wanted to engage in slow living for quite a while, since it first became a thing. And I found it so hard to do and not really fully understood it. And that's the important thing about slow living, is you have to really get it. You have to really be able to get it and embody it. And that's incredibly difficult in the modern world where everything is going at a pace. And so you have to actively keep choosing it. And you might not be in a situation where you can do that, because my body has been in a level of fight or flight now for many, many years. So it's got to unlearn that, and that is proving to be quite uncomfortable. But life did pull me up short about 18 months ago, when I'd been developing tendinitis in both my arms for several years prior. But it reached the point where I realised I could no longer work. And that was a shattering realisation, because I felt like it took away the control of my life, and I felt like I had a really did spiral some low feelings of losing control over my future. But actually, and I don't want to not give this the attention it deserves, it was traumatizing. It was upsetting. It was devastating. It felt like the rug had been pulled. It wasn't my future plan. My future plan was to stay working beyond retirement age. And that shows how much of my identity I had attached to work, and how much I didn't want to slow down. But life forced it. And it's brought me to this point now where I don't think I'm going to sneeze. Let's try and delay that so I can get the words out. It's brought me to a point now where I am able to fully slow down. I'm able to properly slow down in the way that it's fully meant to happen. And it's powerful for me. And that's why I am journaling it on the YouTube, because there are so many videos talking to you about slow living and what it means in practical terms. But if you don't deal with the emotions underneath that are in you, that are pushing you and pushing you, you will never fully get slow living. Slow living comes from inside, not outside. That's what I'm saying, okay? You can put 15 minutes or half an hour of your day aside to read a book. But yeah, you slow down for that period. It's not taken your nervous system out of survival mode. It's not taken your whole life into slow living. And I don't know if your whole life needs to come into slow living, but I think certainly for me, because I'd had so many years of consolidating to my nervous system, you must always be on the go. You must always be on the go. That eventually my body gave up and said, actually, no, you've had enough of being on the go now, and what you really need is to slow down, whether you like it or not. The whole thing's been painful, a painful transition. And that's another topic that's really interesting, is how painful transitions can be, especially when you've not chosen them. So hopefully I've said everything I needed to in this video. I've covered a lot. The balance of this, what I'm doing on here, is I don't want to be sitting here processing my emotions in front of you. I don't think that's helpful. But I do think it is helpful to talk about what I'm realising and why, and what I'm doing and why. And I think without this video giving you some context about who I am and why I'm at this point in my life now is highly relevant. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it here now. It's nearly 12 minutes. Hopefully I've covered everything. And I wish you all the best for the rest of your day.